What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of The Other Side of the Firewall, where we talk about the latest and greatest in cybersecurity news, as well as we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who've made it to the other side of the proverbial firewall. My name is Ryan Williams, and as always, I'm joined by Shannon Tynes.
What's up? What's up?
And LeVon Maynard.
What up?
What is going on? So, like I said, last episode, if you're tuning in, we're back to the regular schedule. So before episodes this week, just like normal, please like, share, subscribe, hit on the bells, share us with your friends, ask us a question, and we'll talk about all the socials when we get to the end of the episode. They're also in the description, in the bio. Just keep us on your radar as we keep moving forward. So with that being said, we go to our second topic of this week. I give it to you.
All right. So this article is actually by Elizabeth Montalbano of threatpost.com. And the title is Nigerian Threat Actors Solicit Employees to Deploy Ransomware for Cut of Profits. Now, if I've said it once, I've said it 100 times. Insider threat, right? This is going to be your greatest threat, whether it be intentional, which is in this case what they're recruiting for, or unintentional, right? Just having somebody that is just dangerous enough, you know, to bring your stuff down or to poke those holes and leave those attack vectors open, right? But what they say here in this is kind of interesting, right? So like the Nigerians, right? Anytime you say Nigerians and it comes to any type of cyber or anything like that, you think about the phishing scams, right? Like it's hey, if you just give me $20,000, I'll give you $2 million when I get back to my kingdom. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. They've gone past that now, right? So they're actually actively recruiting people. And one of the places they went to look was on LinkedIn, actually. But it was researchers at Abnormal Security that identified and blocked a number of emails that were sent to them this month in August. And so what they were doing was they were offering people $1 million in Bitcoin to install DemonWare ransomware, right? So the attackers, they're known as Black Kingdom or Demon, this Nigerian group, right? And so what they ended up doing, what Abnormal Security ended up doing, was they ended up playing along a little bit just to see what they were trying to do, right? So they had stopped these emails from going in. They had stopped these emails. And what happened was they reached back out to the group that sent it, and within a half hour they got a response, right? And so in the response, within a half hour, they came back to him and was like, yeah, they verified, the hackers verified, hey, do you have access to your company's servers, Windows servers? They said yes. And they went back and forth like this for a few days. I think it was 5 days. Hold on, let me verify that. Yep. Researchers continue to communicate over 5 days with the threat actors as if they were willing to be a part of the scam, right? So what they did in going back and forth, they told them, yeah, we'll give you $1 million, because they were going to ask for 2.5 million in Bitcoin. So this is 40% of what they were asking for with the ransomware, right? But in playing along with it, you got to make it seem legit, right? Like they're a little skittish to do it. They were assured they wouldn't get caught. And so they came back and told this Nigerian group, they were like, well, we only have revenue of 50 million, right? So then the price changes. They're like, okay, well, maybe we'll ask them for 250,000 or 120,000, you know what I mean? It's the honeypot pretty much, right? It's like the honeypot concept, right? You put something out there that looks attractive, you know what I mean? Them responding back to them saying, hey, yeah, we're willing to do it. And this is how they figure out what's going on and what they're going to do. But yeah, it's really a learning experience for this company to see, how this Nigerian group was going out there trying to recruit and to get people in, because as we spoke about before, right, in the previous subject that we did for the podcast, right, this is one of those things where you will have people out there that are hard up, right? Like you were talking about, LeVon, before. You'll have people out there that are hard up that may want to get in on this and be like, yeah, I'll take the money. You know what I mean? What I'm making isn't enough, or whatever it may be. And in this current environment with unemployment, I mean, this is somebody that's technically employed, right? But it could be one of those things where they're like, well, I got so many other things going on, or whatever the situation may be. And they may may try to get on it and make it happen. But yeah, the Nigerians, man, they're trying to get more sophisticated, right? They know you're not falling for the emails anymore, right? Like I don't believe the prince. I don't believe if I give him $20,000, he's gonna give me 2 million or whatever. Only fell for that once. No, I'm joking. But LeVon, what's your thoughts on this, man?
Yeah, it's like I think it's a pretty interesting situation. I think it's like kind of knew that this kind of stuff was happening on the back end, but it's like just to kind of have this article kind of like reinforce that, and actually see a company that went through the process to kind of see how far they would go, and they actually went through the process of like letting them kind of, I was kind of glancing at the article. I didn't get a chance to really read it earlier, but looks like they actually got the file installed on some of the systems, and like maybe kind of tested it out to some like isolated systems or something like that. But it's kind of interesting that people, or these ransomware gangs are out here trying to recruit people. And I know what I said on the last podcast, but or last episode, that I feel like this is like probably where a lot of these ransomwares kind of start out, like from the weak chain, from some employee, or whether it's somebody that does it intentionally or unintentionally, that they're actually like causing these compromises within the company. But at the same time, it can also happen through like hacks and just like vulnerabilities in systems, things that aren't patched properly, things of that nature. It's kind of like just a mistake or something that people just didn't catch. But to know that people are out here trying to like recruit your employees, I think kind of tells us a couple of things. One, that we need to like make sure that we're vetting our employees that are working for the company, make sure they're quality people that don't really like do some background check, make sure they're not in debt and all this kind of stuff. The same kind of thing when people get like security clearances. But at the same time, the companies need to make sure that they're looking out for the employees, maybe that give them less incentive to like backstab or whatever you want to call it, just to try to get money out of the company. If they really like the company, they don't want to see the company go down and have to pay a bunch of money, that they feel like they're valued and all that kind of stuff. But just a couple of things that maybe we got to look out for the employees, make sure that they don't have that kind of incentive, and make sure that we're vetting them and make sure they're not going to be compromised like this in the future. But I think it's very interesting. It'd be interesting to see how many other like I don't know if more companies like this come up. I think we did talk about this maybe with Tesla a while back. I think there was like a Russian group that reached out to a Tesla employee that wanted them to do something similar to this. And I can't remember all the details of that one, but it's very similar to this. And I'm sure that happens with a lot of other companies. I'm sure people kind of turn them in, and they probably don't make a big deal out of it. Like, don't want to like spread the word too much. They probably let like the like law enforcement or whoever, like cyber security individuals that to kind of let them know as far as what's going on. But you don't hear a lot of stories about this. You don't hear about the particular groups and gangs that are like compromising. But I think that's pretty cool. But do you have some thoughts on it as well, Ryan?
Yeah, if I was in Nigeria, I'd be like, stop blaming us.
Right. Leave us
alone. It's not always us. It's not always us.
Yeah.
No, I think it's pretty clever. Like as opposed to doing like we talked about last week, doing all the reconnaissance and the pen test and all that stuff. Just find somebody who works there. Like, hey, you want a piece of this? I doubt they will get the money. Like I foresee a future where people are doing this type of stuff and aiding these ransomware gangs and not getting paid, but going to jail. So I would say definitely don't trust them. Like if they're nefarious enough to steal your company's data, they're nefarious enough to just not pay you. You're not right. You're not a subcontract for these people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
that's a good point.
And it would be weird. All of a sudden you have a bunch of like this currency that they're asking for was Naira, Naira, just in your account. Wait a minute. Yeah. Where does this wire come from? Well, this Nigerian money. Like right. I don't know. Just it seems like it's set up for them to gain and for you to take the fall. So, and like you said, the Russians did do something similar with a Tesla employee. Like, yeah, you just drop this in here real quick.
Yeah. Right.
But yeah, you have to treat your employees right? You don't want to create an insider threat. Like you need to pay them the right amount of money, as well as not make it a hostile work environment where they're like, you know what, bump this company.
Right.
I'm gonna let these dudes in real quick. So
this company's not doing anything for me. So
Yeah, it is pretty interesting though, and the haggling back and forth. Like, hey, we don't make that much money. Like, no, we'll lower it then. Cool. Thank you for the insider tip.
Yeah.
We won't ask for too much. We'll just get some, and then we'll break you off a portion.
Yeah.
So I thought it was pretty cool. But yeah, hopefully no one's falling for this. You gonna say something, Shannon?
I didn't want to cut you off, man. Go ahead.
No, you good. You good.
So this could be one of two things as well, though, right? So the first option could be that they do know that the insider threat is the easiest way to get in somewhere, right? Like you do have
Right.
people there, right? Like it's taught in all that cybersecurity training, right? The cyber awareness and all that. Like the insider threat is where the problem can be. Or two, it could be that these companies are actually getting better at hardening, and this is the route that they have to take, right? Like they can't keep poking at those firewalls or poking at all your what do you call it?
Just perimeter defenses.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Like your defense in depth is the term I was looking for.
Right. Right.
It's getting better, right? So now they have to go and do it a different way, and the insider threat is the way they do it, right? I'm hoping it's the latter. It could be the former, right? You know what I mean? Like I hope these companies are getting better and they're paying attention to what's going on out there. But when it comes to paying your employees, I actually saw this this documentary recently, or this series recently on Netflix. I know this is usually for the last segment we do of the week, but I'll throw this one out there because it kind of applies. And it was about dictators, right? And one of the things they said is that these dictators have to keep kind of a balance, right? So they have to pay their henchmen well enough, right, so that they don't eventually overthrow them, right? Like
Right.
this is one of the things that they said, and this is what you have to do with your employees, right? You have to keep them happy. You have to give them enough to not give them the incentive, to go behind their back and do things like this, right? Mind you, there's not a lot of people in a company. Let me not say, be careful how I say this. There's not a lot of people in a company that are making $1 million, right? You know what I mean? For 20 minutes worth of work, if even that, right? Just to put something on a system. But you got to hope you're paying them enough to keep them honest and say, I don't want to lose what I have right now anyway, right? Yeah, it's good to have $1 million, but let's say you're getting paid $200,000 a year. That's 5 years worth of salary, right? Like you could lose that, right, and go to jail for probably about that long, right? Where you got to worry about
Right.
people putting money on your commissary. You don't want to be in that boat. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Yeah.
like it gets a little bit different at that point, right? But no, it's there is a healthy balance when it comes to paying your employees, right? And you gotta hope these companies are looking at that, and especially now, again, with this, if this is going to become the more prevalent way that we see people trying to infiltrate these companies are going to have to step up their game. They're going to have to take a little bit of a haircut on what they're pulling in, right? Because we all know what they pay the employees is not everything that the employee pulls in for them. They are making them more money than what they are paying them. You know what I mean? So that's just how it goes.
Yeah, no doubt. I was trying to find the mute button. I got a nose whistle. I don't want to pick up on the recording. But it's funny that you should say that though, because I was reading an article the other day, and this is just slightly off topic, but it was saying that people are doing multiple jobs from the at home type business. So people, like you said, some people are racking up upwards of $600,000 in salary because they have multiple jobs, because now they have time, right? Because they can knock out several different tasks, and they don't have to be in one location.
Right.
So there's something to be said about that. Also, I would say stop snitching. Whoever wrote the article, stop snitching. Like, so what? As long as they're getting the job done. Now you got employers out there worried, like, oh, I hope he's not cheating on me with somebody else, making twice the salary. But I digress. but definitely interesting topic. The world's crazy. Hopefully people are not going to fall for this, because I don't even know what the ramifications are. Like, if you were to help a overseas body do international crime, like, what kind of prison do you go to? Like, it does not sound like it's worth it, to be honest with you. And these dudes are, I keep saying dudes, but ladies and gentlemen from overseas who are doing the hacking or the pilfering of files and things of that nature, they probably just disappear. Like, so you go take the rap. They'd be like, oh, it was Lloyd from Department 5 who let him in. You know what I mean? Now you got $1 million fine. But it is what it is. Like we'll see how this comes to fruition in the future. Hopefully, it's just a minor trend in the more grand ransomware scene that's happening over the past year and a half. But with that being said, definitely hit us up on the socials. Definitely like, share, subscribe, thumbs this up, hit a bell or something to see when the next video drops, which will be the following day. We're going to have 4 episodes a week, potentially a 5th one if I can get off my lazy tail and make it. But I need your questions, so ask us questions. We can answer them here on the show, or it could be on the other podcast, the Ask Us SP. But we want to know what the community thinks. We want to definitely get you guys more involved. Hit us up at the website at www.theothersideofthefirewall.com. Hit us up on our socials. Hit me up if you would like to ask me a question at RyRy Security Guy. That's RYRY Security Guy. I'm on Clubhouse, Twitter, TikTok, and LinkedIn. I got it all this time. And LeVon, where can we find you at?
Hit me up on the Twitters at LeVon Maynard.
There it is. So definitely stay tuned, stay safe, stay secure.
Take care.